Ever feel like no matter how hard you work, you're still falling behind financially? You're not alone, and it's not because you're failing. In fact, that frustration could be an opportunity in disguise. In today's video, I'm breaking down 6 key reasons why you might feel stuck financially, and how to turn that feeling into an advantage. 1. You're making upward comparisons. First up, let's talk about comparisons. This is something we all do, whether we like to admit it or not. And most of the time, we're making upward comparisons. This means looking at people who seem to have more than us. More money, a nicer car, or a more luxurious lifestyle. But here's the thing. A lot of what we see when we look up is just an illusion. So much of the financial lifestyle we envy is carefully curated. Let me give you a real-world example. Imagine you and a friend both decide to budget $500 a month for a car. You choose to buy a decent mid-range car with a 5-year finance plan. By the end of those 5 years, the car is yours and it's worth around $20,000. On the other hand, your friend leases a flashier, newer model for that same $500 per month. For 3 years, they get to drive a shiny, brand new car, but at the end of the lease, they've spent nearly $18,000 and have to return the car with nothing to show for it. It's the same with credit card debt. Did you know that in the UK, about 38% of people carry credit card debt, and in the US, that figure jumps to 44%? Many of these people fall into what's called the debt revolver category. This means they're only making the minimum payments each month, so the debt just keeps rolling over, month after month, making it harder and harder to break free from that cycle. Debt can easily create a facade of wealth. It's so easy to look at someone else's shiny new gadgets or luxury vacations and think they're ahead financially, but more often than not, it's just a case of living beyond their means. The comparisons that really matter are the ones you make with people who are investing in their future, people who focus on growth, education, and skills. These investments might not be flashy or obvious, but they increase a person's future value and reduce their financial obligations down the line. It's a more grounded and fulfilling approach to personal finance. 2. You don't know what you stand for. Now, one of the biggest reasons we get caught up in these comparisons is that we don't know what we stand for. When you don't have a clear sense of your own values and what's important to you, it's easy to get distracted by what other people have or what they're doing. Let me give you a personal example. When I was about to quit my job, all of my friends were climbing the corporate ladder. They were getting promoted, pushing for management roles, and even buying their forever homes. Meanwhile, I was about to take a huge step back. I decided to completely change my career path, to study, learn, and grow in a completely new direction. I won't lie, part of me was terrified. It felt like everyone else was settling into the next chapter of their lives, and I was stepping into the unknown. But here's the thing. Even though I was scared, I didn't feel like I was missing out, because I knew that the direction I was headed in was going to make me happier in the long run. And guess what? Looking back, I was 100% right. Had I stayed in that corporate environment, comparing myself to my friends and chasing what they valued, I'd be in a completely different place right now, one that would have been far less fulfilling for me. When it comes to your finances, knowing what you stand for is crucial. If you don't align your spending with what truly makes you happy, you're always going to feel like you're lagging behind. You might find joy in the latest phone upgrade or designer clothes, and that's perfectly fine. But for me, I've realized I value experiences like travel, learning, and investing in my business over material things. That doesn't mean I'm locked into these choices forever. My priorities could change, and so could yours. The point is, you don't have to have everything your peers do. Just the things that genuinely bring you joy. That's what's truly fulfilling. 3. You aren't learning. Now this one's my favorite because it's been the most transformative for me. If you find yourself constantly comparing your financial situation to others, it's likely you're stuck in one mindset. Why are they more successful than me? But what if you flipped that and asked, how did they achieve this? This shift from envy to curiosity has been a game changer in my life. For a long time, I was skeptical about people making money online. I didn't see how it was possible to make a living from it. But when I started learning more about it and actually talking to these people, I realized that they weren't just creating content. They were building brands, connecting deeply with their audiences, and diversifying their income streams. When you take the time to learn how others are achieving their financial success, you open yourself up to new opportunities and growth. Don't let envy hold you back. Let curiosity push you forward. 4. You're forgetting the trade-offs. Have you ever looked at someone's success and thought, wow, they've really got it all? I know I have. It's so easy to assume that someone is thriving financially and has everything perfectly sorted out. But here's what we often don't see: the trade-offs and personal sacrifices they've made to get there. Take spending, for example. You might see someone jetting off to an exotic location and wonder, how can they afford that? What you don't see are the other areas they're cutting back on to make that trip possible. Maybe they live in a smaller home, drive an older car, or skip out on new clothes because travel is what brings them the most joy. When you take the time to look at someone's life holistically, you often realize their sacrifices are different from the ones you'd be willing to make. This perspective helps stop the endless comparisons because you recognize that everyone's journey is different. 5. You're following the wrong crowd. When it feels like everyone around you is more successful or has more money, it's easy to get caught up in competition. But here's the truth: collaboration can take you so much further than competition ever will. Sometimes the key to success isn't beating the competition, it's joining forces. Collaboration can open doors you didn't even know existed. 6. You haven't focused on you for a while. When was the last time you really looked at your spending and asked, does this make me happy? It's easy to get caught up in tracking expenses and controlling your budget, especially if you're serious about getting your finances in order. But in the process, you might have forgotten to spend on the things that actually bring you joy. Getting your finances together is important, but so is enjoying the fruits of your labor. Take a moment this weekend to treat yourself. Whether it's a nice meal, indulging in a hobby, or just spending quality time with loved ones, do something that makes you happy. When you focus on your own financial journey and build confidence in your choices, you'll find less need to compare yourself to others. Now that you understand how to turn feelings of being financially behind into opportunities for growth, it's time to take actionable steps toward your financial future. Click this video right here to learn how much you should be saving by age. Whether you're in your 20s, 30s, or beyond, I'll share the benchmarks you need to aim for to ensure you're on the right track. I'll see you there.